Hello, good morning. This is Retro Star, and I'm here to show you my collection. First game I have here is Konami's Gradius. This is probably one of the best shoot 'em ups there is today, at the time. One of them, along with Life Force and all the other games. This was one of my favorite. Very difficult game at the time. Incredible graphics, multiple levels, and just ecstatic and challenge altogether. This was one of my most favorite titles. This is the original Gradius from Konami. Konami is an incredible company when it comes to shooters, and to me, back in the NES days, they rule the market of any type of shooter there is, whether it's in a vehicle shooter, in a spaceship shooter, or just an on-the-ground shooter. They pretty much ruled the platform back in those days. This is Gradius from Konami. Another great title from Konami would be, this is Russian Attack. One of my favorite games of all time. Great game. Efficient and challenge, definitely. Great graphics. Konami is just another Konami joy here, just like Gradius a minute ago. Incredible challenge. I was actually able to beat this as a kid. Back in those days. I actually did a no-death run in this game. And it's still just as fun now as it was back then. But then again, Konami was the ruler back then when it came to like military games. They just did an incredible game here. Rather short to my taste, but aesthetically fun. This is another great title here. This is Trojan from Capcom. A great title. Capcom is another company that's my favorite back in the day. Pretty much Capcom was one of the greatest games for probably the most memorable and nostalgic music. Great platformer games like Mega Man, and just a great company period when it comes to those titles. This title here, Trojan, was a great game. The only complaint I have with this game is that it's very short. And just as a kid, I pretty much played through this really easy as a kid. Did a no-death run in this game. But still a great game, still nostalgic. Still has a great musical score in this game. Out of this world musical score like any other Capcom game. Along with Konami being probably one of the best companies back then with just great soundtrack time and time again. But this is a great title. Just wish the challenge was a little more severe. Other than that, great game. Not sure if anybody knows about this title. This is Gremlins 2, a new batch. Based on the movie that came out. I was a huge fan of Gremlins back then. Gremlins 2 is great. I wouldn't say it's probably better than the original to me. The original was more magical, but Gremlins 2 was great. But this game was based on that movie, excuse me. And actually came out being pretty decent. Great game. Made by Sunsoft, which is another incredible company for a rockin' soundtrack on the NES game. This game is pretty challenging, pretty severe and challenged. I would definitely say it's a little short, but you know, it'll definitely have you grit in your teeth. I was able to play through this game as a kid, and still, you know, come out on top. But still, the challenge is pretty mediocre. It's pretty cool. Wow, the label's torn up there. But great game. Should pick this up if you don't have it. It's another one of my favorites. This is Bionic Commando from Capcom. Incredible game. I definitely have to say my most favorite games on the NES. I remember beating this game so many times over and over and over. I think I lost count by now how many times I beat this game. But the enjoyment was just ecstatically. I just enjoyed playing this game, playing through it. Not so bad in challenge, you know. It's not too hard, you know. If you a patient gamer, you can play through this pretty easily. But you know, this game will definitely keep you playing for many hours. Again, our beloved Capcom. As you see, I am a Capcom fan. I love Capcom and Konami games. Again, great musical score in this game. Awesome storyline. To me, great, colorful, vivid graphics for the 8-bit era, and just aesthetically, just awesome game. Bionic Commando from Capcom. Here we go. This is another great title here. This is POW from SNK. SNK being one of my favorite companies. A very notorious arcade company, you know. Neo Geo, and I was a fan of this arcade game right here. First time I played this was in the arcade. And I have to tell you, this is not a bad this is not a bad port from the arcade. I was pretty happy with this. The only thing I would probably say that was a disappointment was the lack of being able to play with another player. You know, they took that feature out. But I got to tell you, the music in the background is from this game. As you can hear in the background, this has an incredible music score. The music is pretty much great, you know, to be an NES game. Love playing through this, beat it a lot of times, and just love listening to the music and battling bad guys from great military shooter beat 'em up game. Incredible. You gotta have that in your collection if you don't have it. Here is another Capcom game. I love Capcom games. That's it. What can I say? I just love Capcom games. This is Codename Viper. This is a good game, I would definitely say. Definitely a little challenge. It would kick your ass if you're not careful. I was able to play through this, but you know what I'm saying. In the beginning, it's really tough because you only get so much and so much life bar there. But incredible music score. Like I said again, the music score is insane, and just a great, pretty much shoot 'em up here. Codename Viper. Get another game. Okay, Robo Warrior. This is Robo Warrior, the very first Jaleco game that I've pulled out here. Robo Warrior was decent. Love the music in this game. I think the music is probably the best thing about this game too. And this game is, some reason, just reminds me of infamous Blaster Master from Sunsoft. But this game has its own charm, I think. And I remember back in the days when I first played this game, I borrowed it from my boyfriend, my friend at the time. I don't know if you qualify that as boyfriend, but he, you know what I'm saying? He had this game. I picked it up from him and played it, and I thought it was awesome. This is a great title to have in your collection, and you should get it pretty cheap, either at a retro store or any flea market. It's pretty affordable, but you should definitely pick this up and have it on your shelves because it's a very nostalgic game and great game. Here's one. This is another SNK arcade joint here. Ikari Warriors Victory Road. I like the arcade. I was pretty much a fan of the arcade. so much. This is not a bad game here. It's not bad. The gameplay is a little bit on the slow side. I wouldn't say it's as great as it's arcade Big Brother, but I would definitely say this is a decent game to have in your collection for the NES if you were a fan of the arcade. So if you don't have it, go get it from our infamous, notorious company for the arcade, Neo Geo. Can we say Neo Geo, guys? Great system. I love the Neo Geo. But great title to have. Okay, this is Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers from the great Capcom. Capcom and Disney come together and create this awesome and nostalgic piece of artwork here. I have to say, this game never gets old. I don't care how many times you play this game, it just doesn't get old. It's so fun, and just incredible graphics, incredible. The music is awesome in this game. It'll get you pumped. The bosses on this game is a little bit too easy for my taste, but still a fun game to play with a partner. Now, if you play with a partner, it's fun sometimes, especially if you make sure you play someone that is in sync with you, and that can play as good as you do or better. Because if they're not a good player, they can end up pretty much ruining the whole fun factor in this. You guys will continuously clash, and you have to be in sync with one another and know what you're doing to play it on two players. But still an incredible game to play. I actually did this is one of my first no death runs on this game. It was great for me to come back and play this game after so many years, 20 plus years, and beat it with no death. It was actually pretty fun. Not a very difficult game though. This is not, the difficulty in this game is just not severe. Just enough for your enjoyment, you know, because, you know, little kids can't be pulling their hair out and stuff like that. So it's got to be, offers a certain amount of challenge for it to be fun. Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers from Capcom. Gotta have that in your collection. There's another one, another arcade hit here. Bad Dudes. I love the arcade. I played this, first time I've ever played this game was in the arcade. Data East being another notorious and great name in the arcade arena. A lot of the Data East games I loved playing. I still love playing now. Just great games. This game is not bad import from the arcade. This is actually a great game. Really fun game to play. You know, I used to play this with my NES Advantage and just kicked all the ninjas' butts ass all over the place. Just great times. I wouldn't say it's as great as the arcade, but of course, you know, with the arcade being graphically superior all the way around, this was decent to be an NES title, I thought. And you should check this out if you haven't. Check it out and have it in your collection and just enjoy. Great beat 'em up game. Here's another great title. Yes, it is another Capcom title. Like I said before, Capcom fan. Not sure what Capcom is doing these days, but back in the day, Capcom was just on it with titles coming out back to back. Just great titles. And every title they came out with was just kick-ass awesome. And you know, and that's all I'm going to say about Capcom. You know, I still love Capcom. And back then, I was just a huge fan. But whatever. This is Legendary Wings. One of the first NES games I probably owned after Super Mario Brothers. This is a 2-player shoot 'em up game. Incredible music score. challenge out the yin yang. Pretty much, this is a challenging game. If you don't know the secrets to this game, it'll probably kick your ass a little bit. But once you find out how to get the power-ups, and pretty much if you and your partner discover, you know, take turns, get power-ups, become the Firebird. Now, when you become the Firebird, you're pretty much untouchable. You can probably withstand a few hits after having the Firebird. And the Firebird is just unlimited firepower, and you get a partner that has the same thing, you guys could breeze through this game like the wind. Just make sure you keep your dodge game up, you maneuver, dodge, shoot. You should be able to get through this title with no problem, because this is a very short title, which is vastly one thing I had to complain about it. Other than that, the boss fights are awesome. Just a short title. Once you get the Firebird, you can take it from there pretty much easily. So, actually, nostalgic. Great to have in your collection. Go get Legendary Wings, y'all, if you've never played it. Right here, I have here Final Fantasy. Yeah. A lot to say about Final Fantasy. This was a gift from me to me from my boyfriend. And I have to tell you, the first time I seen this in the store, I was, shocked. Because I never knew that Final Fantasy went back this far. I'm just going to tell you and be real with you. When I started playing Final Fantasy, it was on PS1. It's the very first Final Fantasy I started playing was on PS1. I would have to say, kind of sad that I didn't get a chance to really enjoy this as a kid, because I did not know it existed back then. I don't know what, why, and how I missed it. I definitely tell you how I missed it. It was Zelda fever. At the time, probably one of the greatest of all time RPG games was Zelda, and I was all up in Zelda's grill at this time. So it could be a reason why I missed out on this great series here. But this is a great relic here to own, and I played it. It was definitely brought back a lot of Final Fantasy memories, and I've played, I even played Final Fantasy on the Xbox 360 now. But this is the original game here, which I did not know it exists, but I'm glad to have it in my collection still. Here's a great title. I don't know if any of you remember this. This is Rygar. From Tecmo. I'm pretty sure everybody knows Tecmo for being a great net for the Ninja Gaiden series. This was pretty much a great, sort of got like a RPG ring to it. Incredible music, incredible graphics in this game. Gameplay and challenge is just all up to par. Now, the only thing I can complain is the boss fights in this game could have been a little bit more, seriously, could have been a little bit more better. It seems like bosses were too easy, and the bosses were just just repetitive, easy, no music every time you fight a boss. It's like, what the crap? How do you not give us a musical score doing the boss fights? I was like, okay. I guess the music in the game and just a great fun game sort of made up for all of that. But in any game back in these days, I loved to fight a boss and have incredible music to fight to. It just gets you pumped. That's the only complaint I have about this game. It's still a good game. Just, why did you take away our great boss fights and just give us the garbage that you get? And then the bosses, most of the bosses that you fight don't stands in one place and just shoot stuffs at you. They're not really a challenge at all. But still a great game, nonetheless. I still like it. Here's a great title. This is Star Tropics. And This is a Nintendo joint, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Nintendo-made game, and I'll have to say this is it was okay. I wouldn't say it's a Legend of Zelda or anything like that, but it has a very nostalgic musical score, just great music, just that you could for your ears, and just a great storyline. You play as I believe the guy's name is Mike. He has an appearance in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, I believe. If anybody have ever played Star Tropics, they would know who Mike is. Mike, I believe Mike Jones, something like that. And he's on a quest to save his uncle or something like that. Some kind of simple storyline. But this is a great title if you've never played it. It has, of course, this gold seal here. It enables you to save. It has a battery backup where you can save your games, and pretty much a sign that this is a very lengthy title that you have to save in order to continue where you left off, which was a great feature to have back then, since games back then were just so freaking difficult. Who wants to start all over again? Not me. But you know what? This is what we had to do. We did what we had to do to beat these games, right? Well, but anyways, great title. Okay, great title here. This was, other than Gradius, Life Force would have to be one of my favorite titles also. Konami being the maker. The incredible Konami. Great game. Awesome boss fights. I love the boss fight music in this game. You know what I'm saying? Like of course, unlike Rygar, you'll have incredible music during the rumble with the bosses, kicking the boss's ass. That's what you want them to do, so give them music to do it too, And this was one of the greatest games for incredible and nostalgic boss fights. So, Life Force was a difficult game. I don't know if any of you know the same code that you use for the Contra, you can also use for this. The up, down, left, right, BA start, select start for 2 players. You can also do it in this game, and it will give you what? 30 men. Yes. Which you will very well need in this game, because this game is highly difficult. Very difficult this game is. I was able to play through it. Once you play through it a few times and you get to know the game, you'll get a hold. Good players will get a hold of it, but you know what I'm saying? It's still a tough game. You can't say it's not tough. It is. So if you want to go through this game, put in the code, grab a friend, some popcorn, and duke it out. Kill some enemies. Great title, nostalgic, and Konami being probably the best platform back then in the shooter department. They kicked everyone's ass. All right. Now, this is another Konami joint from Konami. The Adventures of Bayou Billy. And as you can see, this guy being inspired by the wonderful and great Crocodile Dundee. We see a resemblance here. Yes, definitely. That's Crocodile Dundee all over the place. But let's just applaud the genius that thought of putting this Crocodile Dundee guy inside of a very awesome game like this. This is a great game. To me, the game was a little on the difficult side, I would definitely say. But this is like 3 games in one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a beat 'em up game. Not only is this a beat 'em up game, this is a shoot 'em up game and a driving game all in one great cartridge. You actually get to use the zapper I believe the second stage in this game. you can use your zapper to take out bad guys. And the boss fight is like totally awesome. I mean, the music that you do it to is just badass. And you actually get to take out an enemy chopper with your zapper. Thing of it is once you get through going at the boss, it makes that trigger finger pretty sore. I remember my trigger finger being very sore trying to take out that boss. But you know what? I had a lot of fun doing it. And then I believe after that, you probably go to the beat 'em up mode again. Then you go to the driving mode, which the driving mode is also very, very, very could be severe, hard. Of course, it's going to take a few tries to get through it, but it's still definitely a great game. Not too bad in as far as length. It's short. It's not too long and not too short. But I have to say, incredible music score this game has. A funky, funky music score, especially in the first stage. I used to love to dance to that back in the day. Yeah, I was a little geeky kid just dancing to NES music, but it was just that awesome. So if you don't have this in your collection, you should get it. It should be pretty cheap to pick it up. I believe I paid like $2 for this, but great game. And it's definitely well worth the money. Okay, this is Strider from our great and wonderful Capcom. Strider. Now, this game right here, I love the Strider series. I really wish somebody would remake or bring Strider Hiryu back on the scene. I mean, yeah, they put him. Let's see, I don't know what game he was in. He was last in. But Strider was probably one of my favorites back then. I was a huge fan of the arcade and the Genesis version. No, this version not being bad. This is not bad here at all. Still had a great musical score. Still a pretty decent title. Pretty easy for my taste. I thought it was a little short and just a little easy. But you know, still a great title, even though I was a huge fan of the arcade and the Genesis. But I still like this. It's still cool. That's Strider. Here's one that everybody recognizes. This is the Mario Brothers and the Duck Hunt combo pack here. It came with the action set back in the days. This right here is a relic because this set the whole entire platform for all these games that I own here and make me the gamer I am today. This is where I started. I started playing these two games here. Great playing Duck Hunt, shooting those ducks. Great playing Super Mario Brothers, and I remember when I first beat Super Mario Brothers, I was ecstatically happy. I mean, just happy. The very first title that I've ever conquered and ever beat. And since I just got to say, I became a changed person after playing this. It changed me forever. I became the hugest, the biggest game fanatic ever. And it just got me hooked, and I'm hooked now more than ever before. So this is a lot of respect due to this cartridge here. But you know, gotta have it. You know, and every now and then I probably want to take out some ducks or maybe go back and reminisce playing Super Mario Brothers. Maybe even do a world record in it. Maybe whatever tickles my fancy, I guess. But I have all these games that I can go back and play, and that's incredible to me. Okay, this is going to be my final and last game for this part one. This is Jackal from the great and famous Konami. Great game here. I love this game. I have to say, as a kid, I enjoy playing this with my sister or my brother. You know what I'm saying? This game is not too difficult. It'll kick your ass a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But it gives you, it offers you a fair amount of continues to continue on the same stage that you were, you know. But pretty much, you know, I was pretty sick at this game at the time. I actually played through this game as a kid, so it wasn't too difficult. But you know, that last boss, I have to say, that last boss is very tough. He is tough, definitely. That last huge tank that you gotta beat, he is tough. He will kick your ass. And you're playing with another player, you make sure he knows to get back in the right hand corner and just stay there until, and take your turns taking shots at the tank. But you know, great, incredible game. The musical score is just awesome, nostalgic. The boss fights are awesome. You're inside of like a little vehicle or jeep, and you're shooting outside of it. So it's like maybe a shoot 'em up, and sort of, I guess you can call it a drive 'em up, but it's basically a shooter. But this was an incredible title. I do plan on doing a no death run in this because it's so fun and it's so incredible. I love it. And you know, it's just one of those games like Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers that never gets boring, never gets old. I can play this game over and over and over and beat it over and over and over again. But this is an awesome and great title here. Well, this will do it for this segment of the video. Stay tuned for part 2, so where I could show the other half in this little barrel here that I have my games. I have lots of them, so I don't want to make one huge long video that would probably bore the crap out of you. But you know what? I enjoy doing this. And thank you for watching, and stay tuned for part 2. This is Retro Star NES Collection. And I'll see you in a bit. Thank you.